Lisa. Thanks again for coming to a fun virtual happy hour. And thank you to Lisa for coming and teaching us all really cool skincare tricks. You know, one of the thoughts that came to my mind was, gosh, we're inside all day long and it's a different climate. And then we go outside to try to get walks as much as we can. And now it's starting to get warm. So we're going to get sweaty and then come back inside. And how many times a day are we really going to wash and reapply makeup? So we're going to be her biggest nightmare. But the other thing, she has some ideas on how to keep us sparkly and not shiny during this time. And also is offering some services while we are on lockdown. I know yesterday she did a delivery to my doorstep of some products that I was out of and gave me a really nice discount and delivered for free. So really fascinating again to see how different entrepreneurs are pivoting their businesses at this time. So Lisa, I will quit talking. Super glad that you're here and you take it away.
Thanks. This is the first time I have put makeup on and got ready in over a week. So feel important. Whatever on Sunday, I was like, no video. Y'all can't see me like this. I'm so happy they all are here. It's so fun to see your faces. I am a super, you're shocking to probably most of you, but I'm actually a social introvert. So this is not bothering me that much. I'm actually okay with it. But I wanted to, first of all, before we kind of dive into the skincare 101, I wanted to talk to you because a lot of you have heard of some of this stuff. So I'm sorry if it's a repeat, but the biggest thing I want to talk to y'all right now is about quarantining and what we're doing during the quarantine. So my big takeaways are make sure that you're drinking more water than wine because unfortunately my alcohol intake is through the roof because I only drink on the weekends and pretty much every day is like Saturday. So make sure I'm seeing it in myself. I'm like, in the first place I see this in my skin. I'm like, oh my gosh, my skin is so scary. So make sure you're drinking as much water as you're drinking wine or alcohol. Also, keep that healthy skincare routine. Sometimes we're not showering and we're not getting dressed and we're not doing all those things. So be sure and drink, say in your routine. This chat slipped me up, sorry. So the other thing is on the opposite end of keeping with your routine, just because you have all this time, please, please, please do not use every single sample under your cabinet and in your drawer that you've ever received from anybody because you have the time, because that will really make your skin angry and upset. So you can use them, just don't use them all at one time. And the other one is hello, if you're in Austin, it's 90 degrees. The heat is coming, which fingers crossed is going to help us be together sooner rather than later. But look at your skincare routine because what you do in January is different from what you do in July. And so thick moisturizer probably can be back down a little bit thinner. So we're going to talk about that too, but just kind of be conscientious of that. So water, stay with your routine and just be conscious of what products you're using. So those are my quarantine tips. So diving into skincare. So first of all, healthy routine. What I, as a professional, P.S. I'm a licensed esthetician, and I've been doing this for about 10 years.
Wait, let's backtrack a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your business? Because there are people on here that don't know you, even though a lot of your friends are on here.
Okay. So I'm an esthetician. I have a boutique skincare spa here in Austin, and I do facials, sugaring hair removal, microdermabrasion, airbrush tanning, chemical peels, eyebrow tint, eyelash tint, all of the fun. I deal with the skin, no hair, no nails. So I got in this business literally April 1st is going to be my 10-year anniversary, which is crazy to me, but so fun. And I was in residential development for 10 years. And then I went to, the market was crashing, 10 years ago when this happened, another crash. So I decided to do something different, went to beauty school, got my license and opened up this spa. So I have been doing this and loving it. I've had problem skin my whole life. So I've always been passionate about skincare. And the kids are a big, big, big passion for me. I'm grateful that I'm down the street from a school and I see lots of kids because literally I've physically been in their shoes. So I'm super passionate about the kids and just teaching them healthy habits. And I tell parents all the time, I'm telling them the same thing you're telling them. I'm just not mom. It's like going to the dentist. So that is a big market for me that I love. So that's kind of my background. Again, like when I say 10 years, like that kind of blows my mind, but super fun. And every day it's hard for me because I see 50 to 100 people a week. So for me to see my sweet daughter, who I love her, but woo, it's hard. That part is a little bit hard because I do miss the personal connections. And because when you come in, it's just you and I. So I build these very deep personal connections, and I do miss that. And I'm having a hard time with that. But everyone keeps reaching out. What can I do? What can I do? And I'm like, when we get back to normal, just come back and get your services and I'll be happy as a clam. Okay, so enough about that. So let's go back to the skincare part. So me as a professional, my idea of a healthy skincare routine is to cleanse, tone, moisturize 2 times a day. I mean, I'll take 1, but I really like 2. If you want to be an overachiever and get the gold star chart, then you 2 times a day. And Holly is a big gold star chart. If she doesn't get a gold star when she comes in, she gets very upset.
Holly P, not HMM.
Oh yeah, no, Holly HM. We're just happy if we see her. And then, so the other thing is to exfoliate once or twice a week. The reason for exfoliation is to slough off dead skin cells. Your skin sloughs off about 2 million skin cells a day. So if those pores aren't clean and aren't cleaned out, then your body is going to can't slough those off, and it's going to clog your pores, and that leads to congestion and breakouts and all of that kind of thing. So that's why it's important to exfoliate. And then if you want a mask, I say once a week, maybe twice a week, but don't over mask. And then extras that can go, the reason to cleanse, obviously to cleanse off the dead skin cells, the dirt, oil, makeup. And the reason for why you tone is when you tone, it helps to helps with your pH balance, and also helps with product penetration. So whenever anything you put on after that is going to go deeper down into the skin. So kind of like your moisturizer serums, it's going to push them deeper down to your skin. So that's kind of why the toning part is important. And then you want to moisturize as well, because that helps with obviously it's moisture. But I'm an oily skin type, so I was always like, I don't want to put anything else on my face. But as an oily skin, if I don't moisturize, then my body's going to hydrate the only way it knows how, and that's by producing more oil. So that's why if you can moisturize, that's going to help your skin produce less oil or help hydrate it. Then there's always serums and eye creams, always a big plus. So those can be used daily, once or twice a day. And a rule of thumb, if people are always asking like, what order do I do this? So my rule of thumb is thinnest to thickest. So your toner, your serum, your eye cream to your moisturizer typically is the order that I always recommend. And then also in the mornings, if your moisturizer doesn't have sunscreen on it, make sure you're wearing sunscreen. So SPF every day. And as Holly said, we're staying inside, but we're still working next to windows. We're probably getting our mail. You're getting sun exposure every single day. I don't know. I have to get in my car and go somewhere every day because I have to leave these walls, but you're still getting sun exposure, and PS it's 90 degrees outside. Kind of a segue into the SPF part is the chemical versus physical. There's a lot of, people are always like, what's the deal with that? So chemical is going to actually have chemicals. So it's going to absorb into your skin. And then a physical is going to be a zinc base, where it's actually going to lay flat on your skin, and it's going to sit on your skin. So chemical is going to absorb. So, but if you wear a physical, which I always prefer, it's more of a sunblock than a sunscreen. And it also is better for sensitive skin. So if you have any kind of sensitivity, that's always a good go-to. And then it will, but you do want to wash that off because it is zinc based.
Hey, Lisa, I have a question.
Yes. I can't wait.
We mentioned serums, and recently, if you go to Lisa, she's very generous with her samples. You recently gave me a new eye serum, and I traveled with it and used that instead of eye cream. But I get the sense that maybe you're supposed to do both. Can you tell us the difference?
No, not with that one. I use that as my eye cream. That's all I've been using. So, I mean, you can, if it's for eyes, you don't want to do too much. As we heard on Sunday, and as I'll tell you, this is the thinnest skin on your body. So it's always important to take care of this always first. And also I brought this out because some people are always like, how much do I use? So with an eye cream, eye serum, anything you're putting on your eyes, I always say a rice grain. a rice grain on your ring finger. Kiss your fingers.
If you want to
And then
just see Lisa, put
all the way
it
around.
on speaker. I mean, put it on speaker view just to see Lisa.
Oh, how do you do that? I don't want to see me. So all the way around your eyes. So that's, if you, I'm also with my clients, I know how long it takes to go through a product. And if you come in next month and you need an eye cream, like, then you're using too much. So I'm always like, if you use too much, you're not getting better results. You're just wasting products. So I always try to tell you, with your, every cleanser is different. Like if you're using a professional cleanser, usually just like a pea size is all you need. And so with eye creams, a rice grain size, fingertips, a ring finger, kiss your fingers all the way around. That's kind of my rule of thumb on that. Sunscreen, a good rule of thumb for your face is an almond size. And then if you're doing everything, you want to which you should, walnut size all the way, and head and face, neck, décolleté is a walnut size. And if you're doing your whole body, is typically what is the visual? I want to say it's bigger than a golf ball. It's like a little bit bigger than a golf ball. Is kind of like is the visual for how much you use for your whole body as far as sunscreen. So kind of good rule of thumb. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Holly?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, then the other thing I was going to talk about, people are also always, so I carry 2 skin lines at work. I can't know every skin line, so I always just kind of talk about ingredients and what they do, because I think that's the better thing for you to know, because then you can kind of look at products. Some common ingredients that are great is vitamin C, especially in Texas or elsewhere, just because vitamin C is for lightening and brightening, and most all of us have sun damage, and so that's what vitamin C is great for, lightening and brightening. Retinol is a vitamin A derivative, so retin-A's, any kind of retinols. So that's going to be it's highly exfoliating, but it also sensitizes the skin. So I'm not a huge fan of retinols like light retinols in the summer and heavier in the winter, especially if you're in Texas. Another big ingredient, if you've heard Eva Longoria, she loves to tell us about hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a humectant and holds 1,000 times its weight in water. So it's like a big drink of water for your skin. So any kind of serums with hyaluronic They love a mask. They love a sheet mask, especially, if it was $2, probably is not going to be very good for your skin, but that's okay. So I err on the side of just go gel based. If when in doubt, go gel based, because if you go cream based, it could be too emollient. If you go clay based, it could be too dry. Yes. What's that?
Yeah, nobody's got them.
Oh, masks. I know. You can make your own with honey and oatmeal and go around add a little avocado, but that is definitely that I always, if you're masking, you don't really know what you're doing, I always vote gel based is always my go-to. Another thing I like to always give you is some good over-the-counter recommendation. Of course I sell products, but that's not how, I'm all about what works best for you. But if you're looking like, Lisa, I have no skincare routine, what can I do? So my over-the-counter recommendation for cleanser is Johnson & Johnson Purpose Soap. It's got a great pH. It's not going to strip your skin. If you're more on the sensitive, and it's also great that's also a great one for Clairsonic because it's going to foam. Cetaphil is great if you are sensitive skin, but it's a cream base. So that kind of sometimes people don't like that. They want the foam or the bubbles. So if you're using if you're using Clairsonic, a gel base is great. The Purpose is great for that. My over-the-counter toner is usually a witch hazel. It's a natural antiseptic. I meant to have a bottle. It's T and Dickinson's is like the name brand. It's typically, if you just straight witch hazel, is usually in the what's that? The first aid section, like with the hydrogen peroxide and alcohol. And so that's where you can find the witch hazel. And then my over-the-counter moisturizer is CeraVe or Cetaphil, either one of those. Sometimes those are a little thick for people. But if you're only going to moisturize, like I say, wear sunscreen for the day and then moisturize at night, because then it's okay if you're a little bit greasy, you're going to wash it off the next morning because you're going to be a superstar and get a gold star. Another thing I was going to kind of talk about. So as an esthetician, I'm just an esthetician, so I don't deal with any kind of lasers or anything like that. But I do facials, which is a good like analysis of your skin. I come in, we talk about your skincare goals, like what your skincare routine is. I do a good clean out of your skin and extractions if needed. And then we kind of set you on your way and with a good plan. That's kind of like just a good every, you know, however often. People are always like, how often should I get a facial? I mean, in a perfect world, once a month is great. Every 6 to 8 weeks is great, but I say bare minimum once a quarter. It's kind of like getting the oil changed in your car just to kind of get a good clean out. And I recommend those kind of between seasons. So like between winter and spring, spring and summer, summer and fall, fall and winter. But the most important ones are always after winter and after summer, because that's when you need the most, like, not damage control, but just the biggest clean out, getting all the dead skin cells off after the winter and then cleaning out all the sunscreen from the summer.
Hey, Lisa, along the same lines, our friend Amy, who just posted in the chat, just moved from Dallas to Denver and is on the struggle bus with skin being dry all the time. What do you do when you're going back and forth from different climates regularly, or when you move to a new climate?
That's a tough one. It's not tough to move, to change, but when you're traveling back and forth, I mean, I see clients that are traveling a lot and they're like, my skin's going crazy. I'm like, because you keep switching out your climates. Honestly, if you're switching back and forth, you probably should have 2 skincare routines, a lighter one and a thicker one, like a more emollient if you're going to drier. If you move to Denver, you're constantly dry. So just lots of water, which you're good at drinking there because there's water everywhere, but also just a thicker moisturizer is the biggest thing. And probably a good hydrating mask is probably the most important thing, just to kind of get you back in balance. And once your skin gets acclimated, it won't be such a big deal. But when you first move there, it's always going to take a little bit of time for your skin to get acclimated. I lost my notes. But if you're traveling, like when Holly was going to do the Canada to Texas back and forth, I'm like, girl, this is going to be like 2 different like worlds we're living in. So it's important to kind of, you know, get a routine for both of those, because when you're back and forth, I've got clients that are, you know, back and forth from the beach to back to Texas, which is not that big of a difference, but it is. And so just, you know, keeping them like maybe exfoliate a little bit more when you're there, and, you know, kind of having those like tricks depending on what climate you're going back and forth to. Oh yeah. And then some of the other services that I do that kind of help with Dermaplaning is another service that I do, which is some of you probably have heard of it, have maybe done it. It's a form of exfoliation. It's where you take a scalpel and you scrape off 2 to 3 weeks worth of dead skin cells, as well as all your vellus hair. It's like all your peach fuzz. So by doing that, your makeup's going to go on smoother. Your products are going to be more effective because you're going deeper down into your skin. I mean, you probably have seen on Instagram or Facebook that Dermaflash thing, which takes off the peach fuzz. All great. The difference between mine and that is I'm actually scraping off dead skin cells as well. So it's the peach fuzz. It's not a form of hair removal. That's just an added bonus. It's actually a deep exfoliation. I call it microdermabrasion on steroids. So microdermabrasion is, I just read that right. I can't read the chat. Sorry. You're so sweet. So the microdermabrasion is going to be like, I don't know if it's kind of old school, but it's like where the suction and the diamond tips, it takes off it's very surface. So dermaplaning actually like scrapes off the dead skin cells. So you really get a good deep exfoliation. And then another kind of newer that's people are hearing about microneedling. So microneedling is a collagen induction therapy. So what it is mine is 12 hypodermic needles that kind of works like a Sonicare that punctures, that does micro wounds all over your skin, and then your skin goes to heal itself and it produces more collagen. So it kind of helps that plumping effect. So it's great for fine lines and wrinkles. Any kind of like, I've done good work with 11s. It makes your Botox definitely last longer. So that's another great service as well. And then chemical peels, which I do in the winter time, which is another form of exfoliation. It's a rapid exfoliation. It's lactic acid, citric acid, and salicylic acid. and it goes down to the dermal layer where your new skin cells are producing to produce new skin cells faster and stop off old skin cells faster, so you're getting newer skin to the surface quicker. I've said that a few times. But so anyway, that's another, those are kind of like my core, like non-facial services that I offer to kind of give you an idea of what thing, you know, why people do this, that, or the other. Any questions? I haven't even read the chats. I'm scared.
And they're all very positive.
I'm sure like it, I'm like, oh.
I have a question, Lisa. Do I have to tap when I put my eye creams on? Somebody once told me I need to be tapping. Or can I?
As long as you're using your ring fingers, I mean, you don't, I mean, I probably do tap, but it doesn't have to be, as long as you're using your ring fingers because it's your weakest finger, you're going to be okay. I mean, typically, I mean, I probably put it on once, but then once I'm putting it in, I probably tap because it's easier to do than pulling it.
Okay. Just so that it really gets absorbed in there? Is that the point?
It helps kind of push it down.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, I put it on regularly, like rubbing it, and then I probably tap it to push it deeper down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I love seeing your face. Any other questions?
Lisa, I'm having major breakouts right now. I don't know if that's because I'm here now or what's going on, but how can you avoid like
that should have been on my notes. I'm sorry. So typically when you break out the chin area is hormonal, your forehead area is stress, and your cheeks is typically a food allergy. So every month I'm reminded that I'm a woman, and it's so fantastic by the giant, you know, crater on my chin every single month. So unfortunately we can't do anything. I can't help you with that. I can help you like treat it and things like that. Stress in the forehead. So when there's a lot of stress, cheeks is the one that I can help you with the most, because pretty much it's probably something you're eating. You're at home eating, you're probably off of your normal routine, eating whatever's available. Typically it's most common is obviously dairy or gluten. So when I see a lot of breakouts in the cheeks, I mean, if you just have a random breakout, don't stress out about it. But if you're seeing perpetual breakouts, I'm always like, let's look at your diet. And I always say, cut dairy for 30 days, not because it's easier, but it's easier to know what dairy is. You know, it's milk, cheese, blah, blah. And then I say if that you see no difference, then try gluten. And typically it's one of the two. And I always say knowledge is power. Like, I'm not saying you can't have queso again, but know if you have queso, you're probably gonna have a little bit of a breakout. Yeah. And so, like my daughter, she's not lactose intolerant, but there's a threshold that she gets, and we see it immediately. We were eating Greek yogurt parfaits for breakfast every morning, and she flared. So she knows she can't have, she can have dairy, just has to be careful. And we had no idea, but she had no other symptoms besides that. Good question. That should have been on my list. Anything else? I'm just happy to see y'all. This is so fun.
Lisa, I have a question for you.
Yes, love.
You know me, I have no skincare routine.
I know, but your face looks like you're like not even red. I guess I don't see makeup.
Lisa does spray tans on me, and so she knows how bad my face is to begin with. But so if I'm going to start one, because like probably
oh, come on,
48's a good time to start one. So if I'm going to spend $100,
okay,
which is a lot for me because I'm a cheapskate.
You don't need that much.
Where do you start? And are your products better than what I can find in the store?
For sure, a professional product is going to be better than what you're going to find in the store. But I'm not saying you have to use it. Over the counter. If
I was going to spend $100 with you, what would I buy?
With me, you could buy a full skincare routine with $100. You could buy a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer. Just kidding. I would say what I would say is get your cleanser at the store at Walgreens. Get your Cetaphil for you, actually, because I know your skin, and get your moisturizer at the grocery store. I would say get an exfoliant, an eye cream, and a sunscreen with me for $100, and then spend $20 so you'd be $120.
Okay, and if I'm only going to do it once, I'm never going to do skin.
I know.
So if I'm going to do it once a day,
nighttime only.
Is it nighttime to do
Yeah.
it? Okay.
If you're gonna do it, if you're only gonna wash your face once a day, do it at night, because then you're getting all of the day off of your face, and then it gives you, then because your face is gonna like regenerate at nighttime. So I say at nighttime, just that way you're going to bed clean. You're only do it once a day. Yeah. But that's what, if you're gonna buy one thing if you're only gonna have one thing, sunscreen. Like that, if you're only gonna have one thing your whole life, sunscreen. Second thing, eye cream. Like those are the two, especially for our age. Like that's what you want to do. I tell the kids all the time, I'm like, take care of your skin now. It is so much cheaper than when you're my age. So you don't.
Can I send you an email so I can get that stuff from you?
Yes. And I can drop it off at your house because I just like to get out.
All right, perfect. Okay, I'll shoot you an email. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you put in the chat how you buy from you?
I can. You can send me an email and I can get that to you. If you're in Austin or not, I can ship it too.
And I'm going to have Lisa send a follow-up email to all of you with the recording of the video. And Lisa, I mean, any services that you're actually doing now, are you doing any virtual services besides just dropping off product?
I mean, it's pretty hard. I mean, to do, there's nothing I can really, it's hard because this is such a hands-on business. And so there's nothing really I can do unless like I could walk you through a skincare routine. Like, I mean, you can, if you're like, if you have a list of products, this is what I have, you can send me a picture and I will, tell you what to do, when to do it. I can do that for you. If you're like, I have all this stuff, I don't know what to do with it. I can definitely help you with that.
Lisa, are you going to call me and Holly every day and remind us to wash our faces?
No.
Well, and my mom's on here too, and my bestie and my mom have the same problem. My mom scrubs her face with Dial soap and a wash rag. But she doesn't know how to use Zoom to yell at me right now. So.
My favorite is when I ask guys, I'm like, because I do see a lot of men, just because it's just me, so it's very private, and it's always like husbands or boyfriends of my clients, and I'm like, so what do you wash your face with? They're like, the shampoo that comes off of my face, off my hair, and I'm like, oh gosh, but that's okay. Another thing, as I've touched my face like 3 times, keep your hands off your face. The one good thing is we're all washing our hands a bazillion times a day and using hand sanitizer. So at least our hands are pretty clean, but keep your hands off your face because we're working from home, keep your hands, off your face. I'm not working from home. I'm just watching so much Netflix. I can't even see straight, but whatever.
Hey, Lisa, Tima's asking, do you have anything for dark spots and sun damage that's stronger than vitamin C?
Not as a product. Not as a daily product. It would be, hydroquinone, which I know Obagi is what carries, who has that. Sometimes you can get it from a dermatologist, like a compounded hydroquinone, or like a treatment, but not as far as I don't have it.
Hi.
I love seeing all these faces. So not over the counter. That for dark spots is hard. Like except for if you're using, it's better if that just like kind of do some procedures and get you to home base and then just maintain it. That's why it's cheaper to take care of your skin when you're young and wear sunscreen.
Sleep wrinkles, anything to do about that?
Hydration is that I get those, like a good eye serum in the morning or eye cream or like a hyaluronic acid, something like that, and drink lots of water. If you're getting a lot of sleep wrinkles, it's usually because you're dehydrated.
I have one. It's not coming off, like ever. Like it's just there.
What is it? A wrinkle?
Yeah, because I sleep on the side of my face. Like it's just like permanent, right? You can't see because I look like I'm glowing right now.
Yeah.
But it's like right there.
I would say, it's probably more than just a sleep wrinkle. It's probably just gravity, unfortunately.
All right, I'll take that.
Sorry.
No,
Gravity's not our friend sometimes. I was going to open my chat. I haven't even looked at it because it makes me scared.
We keep reading them out loud to you.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
I can keep going, y'all. Humidifiers, do they really work for your skin? Like I have a cool mist one in my bedroom right now, and I think I'm just making.
That's not so much for your skin. I think Sarah, it's more for your it's more for your nose and things like that. I don't think humidifier is going to be a lot for your skin, but it will definitely, it's not going to be like game changing, but it's not going to hurt. Does that make sense? It's so hard because, and it's more the kids because they are constantly reading and they're constantly on Instagram and stuff. And they're like, what about this? What about this? And so many things are marketing. So if you do it every day, it's going to work. You're going to see results, but it's more just, it starts with with a good routine and just sticking with that. And then if you have problems, kind of, addressing those, but all the things, anything that you see it will probably work, but nothing is a cure all fix all, unfortunately. Believe me, I wish. It'd be a lot cooler if it was.
Well, and Lisa, why don't you tell them what you said to me about having all this free time doesn't mean going through all your samples?
I thought I said that. Yes, do not. That's quarantine 101. Quarantine 101 is A, keep a healthy skincare routine, and B, do not go through and use every single sample you've ever gotten in your 4 years. And also pay attention to your expiration dates, because a lot of these, and it's not going to like harm your skin, it's just not going to be effective, and it may smell bad. If it smells weird, toss it. And sunscreen is the biggest one. The biggest expiration dates are sunscreen and any kind of acne medication. Those are legit sunscreens, but I'll tell you expiration dates. But sunscreen, I always tell you, you can go usually 1 year later. But any kind of acne medications, pretty much stick to those within like 3 months, because those can go bad. And it's not going to make it worse, but it's going to do nothing for you, and it's just going to waste your time. Dun, dun, dun.
We got another question. And what are the best products for teenagers?
So
not what we used as kids is what I've learned from you.
Right. Teenagers with or without with breakouts. So if they have just normal skin and they're not breaking out yet, you can do the Purpose Soap, Witch Hazel, CeraVe. I give that to lots and lots of kids. If you also, this is for any of y'all, if you have a breakout, we'll go on the breakout talk. If you have a breakout and it's got red around it, that red is infection. So if you squeeze it and pop it, you're going to spread that infection, and one breakouts can turn to 3 or 4. And so, because you're just damaging all that skin underneath and all the tissue. So do not pop it. I'm a big fan of the spot treat with, I prefer benzoyl peroxide, 0.5%. You can get like Clearasil, whatever at the grocery store, 0.5% benzoyl peroxide. And you can actually use a Q-tip and put it on the spot morning, afternoon, and nighttime. And it'll dry up in 24 to 48 hours. But the key is only put it on the spot. Because if you put it on your finger, it's probably not this big, and you're going to draw out that whole area. It's going to be red and irritated, and you're going to be more angry because now you went from a pimple to the giant red, angry area. So that's for anybody that has that's breakout prone. Get a 0.5% benzoyl peroxide spot treat. But with kids, another thing is good with the salicylic acid. So benzoyl peroxide is more of a spot treat. Salicylic is more of like a maintenance. So if they're breakout prone, like a good salicylic kind of a serum or a mask, something with that, even like a salicylic cleanser to kind of help keep those those pores clean and clear and under control.
Awesome. Keep the questions coming. Y'all are great.
Y'all are so funny.
I have a question. So you mean like actual peroxide?
No, benzoyl peroxide is the ingredient. So it's 0.5, still like a Clearasil. It'll say like a Clearasil spot treat, and it's gonna have 0.5% benzoyl peroxide in. Is gonna be like the main ingredient. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sorry, I zoned out there for a second.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, does this work? Hold on.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, she turned us off.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Sarah. Go
okay.
ahead.
I can't hear you guys all of a sudden, but I'm going to try to ask a question. By the way, I was driving to look at a house, just so all of you know. I had a chauffeur. And anyway, my question is, for vitamin C serums, the one that I just finished this morning was called CE Ferulic. and it was
Yeah.
quite pricey.
Yeah.
I got basically sold that because they said it deserved better, true, or made it equal.
Because it what? She's cutting out.
Is it true that the way vitamin C serums are preserved, that basically the more expensive ones are more helpful for your skin and viable? Does that make sense?
Yes. So, fun fact, Dermalogica actually does have a vitamin C serum that actually is testing higher and more potent than that SkinCeuticals serum for half the price. So that I was very happy about that, and we've had great results with that. But it's micro encapsulated, like mine and theirs is too. It's micro encapsulated vitamin C, so it preserves it, and it's usually like it's not time lapse, but when you put it on, like it just kind of helps. It goes smoother and penetrates deeper into the skin, and that is definitely why it's more expensive than versus a vitamin C and like a random over-the-counter serum. So yeah, they're definitely created differently. But it's encapsulated is typically how it's made. I mean, that's about as technical as I can get, microencapsulated. After that, not a scientist.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you guys hear? So Lisa, if you are someone that has a regular routine but does not do the extra services like facials, regular facials, all those extra things you talked about, if you chose one to add on, what would you add on?
For the best bang, I would do an exfoliation, a deep exfoliation. So either
a service that I could get from you, not something at home.
Right. I would probably say like a Dermaplane or something like that, just because facials are great and I love them, and but if you want the best bang for your buck, I would go for like an actual treatment, like actually, you know what I'm saying, or either like a peel, like in the winter time, or a Dermaplane or a needle. Any of those, depending on what you're like, if you've got dark spots, I would do a peel. If you are more worried about fine lines and wrinkles, I would do a needle. And if you're worried about if you've got like a lot of dull skin, you just want like a good brightener, then I would do a Dermaplane. So those, I would do a treatment over like a facial. If you just want to if you'd like to add one thing, that's what I would. Depending on what you're looking for.
Okay. Watch out. They're addicting.
Which one?
Dermaplane's addicting. I'm dying because I know I have.
She is like, when do I get to see
when I get up here, I'm going to have like a full, I don't know what I'm going to have on my face.
It's so funny because the Dermaplaning is, for me, it's the most satisfying because I'm literally, like, it's my favorite thing to have done to myself, but I can't do it to myself, unfortunately. But I say, do you want to see what came off your face? And Tina does not. I've got 3, and all the people that I do it for, 3 people just say no, but everyone else like yes, and it is insane. But it's for me. Oh my gosh! I mean, you have to be part monkey to be in this job. I just have a little bit more monkey in me, so it's very, very satisfying to see all of the hair and the dead skin. I mean, it's so exciting.
I'm trying that when we get out of isolation.
What's that?
I'm trying that when we get out of isolation.
And so,
and then pair it with the needling.
Dermaplaning, I like to pair Dermaplaning with either needling or a peel is best bang for your buck. I'm so lazy just because I'm in the business. I'm so lazy, and I remember one time I needled and I texted Tina and Michelle. I'm like, oh my God, y'all pay me to do this to you? And the next day I was like, ooh, Lisa, you should do this more often. So I know that they're so good. I'm just so lazy. By the end of the day, I'm like, I'm gonna go home. So, but I do have clients that I have to be like literally check my book and make sure it's been 3 weeks, because I can only Dermaplane you every 3 weeks. And I've got a few clients that I have to check to make sure it's been 3 weeks before they come back.
Well, it'll for sure be 3 weeks.
I know.
Forever.
I'll call Locks of Love and tell them I've got a donation coming. I'm kidding. Anything else?
I feel like I have a billion questions. I'm sorry, y'all. So do you have like an at-home chemical peel, like a lighter one than actually where your face all falls off every time you go? Like, is there like
my peels don't do that. My peel, because I'm esthetician grade, so it takes 4 to 6 of mine to equal 1 that you get a dermatologist. So because of that, but I do have a rapid peel. What's it called? Rapid relief peel. It's like I love it. It's in they're little vials. They come in, I think you get 10 in the packet. It's $85. So it's it's pretty good. And the way they say they should do 3 in a row, like 3 days in a row, and then once a week. And so it's in a vial, and you put it on, you wash your face, you put it on, and leave it on for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then take it off. And I have all this stuff. When I do use it, I'm like, dang, that works good. So, it's a good at-home treatment, like a good at-home, like it's not going to be a full-on peel, but it's going to give you really good, like at-home results when, we're in quarantine.
What brand is that, Lisa?
Dermalogica.
Okay.
Let me go, hold on. Let me see if I can have one.
This is actually funny. So Lisa and I were friends through junior league whenever she first got her license, and I didn't go, and I was like, I spent all this money on product, adding in a facial, it's gonna get really expensive. And then my face looked awful, and I went and got a facial and switched to all of her products and actually saved money. And in 1 week, I saw a big difference. And so now every month or usually once a month, sometimes because of work travel, every 6 weeks, I can't live without her. And it's a lot less expensive than what I used to do.
I had to get her off of I'm not a huge makeup department store makeup all day. Department store skincare, not a big fan. It's called it's a rapid reveal peel. So it comes in these cool little vials. So you and the package comes in 10s, but it's a good, like, you can use it all year round, like it peels, because chemical peels, because I am taking off those first layer of skin. And also, if you heat up your skin in 24 hours, it can reactivate and cause blistering and hyperpigmentation, which is not the look we're going for. So I only do them October to April. But this is a good, like, so it's rapid reveal peel from Dermalogica. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Good. Anything else in your suite, Holly? Holly is definitely she's a big cheerleader. I mean, she's a cheerleader for a lot of things, but I'm thankful that she likes me.
I love you. Any other questions?
Hey,
yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
Lisa, can you talk about the hyperpigmentation? Because does that get worse as you get older?
So hyperpigmentation, most of our sun damage happens by the time we're 18 years old, and then spend the rest of our life coming out on our skin. So the sooner you get on the sunscreen train, the better off. And the sooner you start with a good exfoliation plan. And with you especially, we've done peels, you've done lots of things, but unless you do like a super medical treatment, like a Fraxel or IPL is easy. Fraxel gets deeper. They keep getting deeper and deeper. To pull up that sun damage, it's going to continually come up on your skin. And so it's just kind of keeping that under control. I mean, we'll have people we'll do a series of peels 1 year and we'll get a good control over it, but then they'll go for the summer and won't be so stellar about their sunscreen. And then we're back to square one. So staying on top, if you've got and also a lot of times it's hormone-induced hyperpigmentation, which is the melasma. So when you're pregnant, or if you're on the pill, or any kind of, or even if you have an IUD with hormones, any kind of that's definitely going to make you more sensitive to the sun, and that's going to deepen your hyperpigmentation. So it's getting a handle on it and getting on the sunscreen train ASAP.
So being old doesn't really affect it?
No, it doesn't. It really is coming. It's just because you're so fair skinned, and you got so much sun when you were younger, and now it just keeps coming out. We're just trying to get a handle on it.
So do you think, like, at this point, like a BBL or IPL is better?
For you, I would definitely do a deep laser for sure.
Okay, thanks.
I wish it was me.
I'm scared.
Me too.
Oh, Riley's asking about baby oil for Trish.
Oh gosh, what? Oh no, baby, no. Trish cannot use baby oil when she's laying out. She has to get rid of that. Only unless she has iodine in it. I'm just kidding.
I swear it's not me. I'm so white I've died.
Oh my gosh. I had one session and it's immediate results. Oh yeah, for sure. I know the sunscreen, you have to wear the sunscreen. The sunscreen is so, so, so important. I love it. Okay, any other questions? This has been fun. I really, really hate speaking to groups. I'm terrible at it. I'm so much better one-on-one. So, but in the comfort of my bedroom is a little bit less intimidating.
Well, you did absolutely wonderful. And it's so fun to see everyone.
I know.
Lisa will be sending you a follow-up with the recording. If you were on Sundays, I had a problem with the recording, but I'm working on it and we'll make sure to get that out as well. But Lisa will follow up with the recording and her contact information so that if you need any product, she can just drop it off on your doorstep with some peppermint patties. And so you can go visit her whenever we get out of isolation. And then our friend Elizabeth, do you want to wave? Elizabeth is our speaker on Friday at 5, giving us some closet organizing tips. So to Lisa and Elizabeth, thank you so much for trusting my crazy ideas so I can selfishly see all of my friends. This is super fun, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Holly.
Thank
Bye.
you.